Okay. Before I get into it, y'all have to see this. Look at what my friend got me. Hey, what's up? It's me, Meanie Mosey. Welcome to my channel where I talk about anime and I do anime related things. Welcome to my review on Impel Down. There's no need for an intro, you know what you're here for. I'm going to talk about the prison level naming and world building, the perfection of the whole entire plot, Luffy's kindness, Luffy's lifespan, Luffy's determination, Bond Clay, miracles, allies of common interest, Hanny's last stand, I like to call him Hanny, Hannibal's last stand, Blackbeard spilling black tea, Luffy's desire to save everyone and their escape, the aftermath, who all is going to be at the war, and prediction at the very end. Prison level naming and world building. Another great world from Oda. What a shocker. 5 different levels of different kinds of hell, but wait, there are actually 6 levels, and level 5.5 isn't even part of the prison. It's kind of like this oasis of freedom within the prison. The names of the levels are really straightforward. Level 2 is literally called Cursed Beasts from Hell, and there are cursed beasts from hell walking around the level eating up people. That's just funny. And I liked how the lower levels affected the levels above them. For example, level 4 was burning heat hell, and they had a boiling lake of blood. Nice little fun things. Level 4 was so hot that it affected level 3 above it, and level 3 was incredibly hot and there was sand everywhere. It was dry, it looked like the desert, but wait, it's not sand, it's actually the dried up remains of dead prisoners. So that's genius. Moving on, plot perfection. This is the 3rd rescue mission that we're seeing in One Piece, 4th if you include Thriller Bark. But Oda is so talented that this does not feel like anything that we've seen before. A standard rescue mission would go something like, let's go save this person. Like, for example, in Eddie's lobby, they're like, let's go save Robin. And so they're fighting tougher and tougher people, and it continues to escalate, and they overcome obstacles until finally they're able to save Robin and escape. Mary was there, I cried. In this one, in Impel Down, rather than a gradual increase in progress, this one had so many highs and lows, and in Impel Down they said let's go save Ace. So Luffy's going to go save Ace, and he's encountering tougher and tougher enemies, and then he gets beaten in the middle of the arc by Magellan. The plot shifts, and it's like, let's save Luffy so Luffy can save Ace, or let's save Luffy just to keep him alive at this point. And there are appropriate consequences for Luffy's expedited recovery, which I'll get into later. But the most important one is that they run out of time to reach Ace while he's in Impel Down. So this arc ends with the main goal of let's go save Ace being entirely unresolved, and yet the arc is complete. Luffy comes out of the prison with new and powerful allies. Impel Down is left a hot mess, and my stress levels are at an all-time high. Luffy's kindness with Buggy and Mr. 3. Luffy teams up with Mr. 3 from Baroque Works and Buggy the Clown, who is now rocking an Ariana Grande ponytail, and the whole entire time Mr. 3 and Buggy are using Luffy as a means to clear out obstacles, and they keep making false promises to him until they can find a way to escape the prison. Luffy exists in a world of thieving pirates, and he still thinks that people's word means something. And the fact that Luffy trusts Buggy and 3 instead of treating them like the plotting traitors that they're trying to be makes them want to do right by him. The main thing was like that armband that Luffy had that he gave to Buggy, which was actually like a treasure map. I knew that armband was important. I'm just calling it. I knew it. I knew it was going to come up again. It's funny how they keep falling into helping him, and their whole entire team dynamic is another aspect of what I love about this arc specifically, because usually the members of the rescue team are all on the same page, but Luffy is trying to save his brother while Mr. 3 and Buggy are just like, we do not want to be here. And Luffy's like, oh, so you're not helping me? They're like, no! Luffy's lifespan. Luffy's running through Impel Down fighting all the baddies, and he keeps whipping out 2nd gear like it's no big deal. And when 2nd and 3rd gear were introduced, Chopper told Luffy, that's bad for you. Probably shouldn't do that, it's gonna shorten your life. And now Second and third gear are pretty common moves that Luffy uses to fight with, and we get to the point when Luffy needs to be healed by Eva, and Eva's like, this will take 10 years off of your life, and Luffy's like, I gotta save Ace. That's my Luffy impersonation, apparently. So boom, 10 years gone. Said all that to say, I don't think that Luffy will live to be very old. These warnings are being set up and Luffy is ignoring them, and so now the entire story of One Piece cannot end without Luffy facing the consequences of the decisions that he's making right now. Will he find the One Piece? He better. Will he die trying? He also said that he's okay with that. Either way, I know this is a very long story, and I don't even think that I'm halfway done, but there are 3 things that I've kept track of that need to happen before the story of One Piece ends. Number 1, the Straw Hat Pirates need to reconnect with Laboon. They need to go find the whale, keep their promise. 2, the One Piece has to be found by somebody. Hopefully Luffy, but it needs to be found. Then number 3, Luffy has to encounter the consequences of his shortened lifespan, whether that be through sickness or death. Yeah, those 3 things gotta happen. Luffy's determination. Eva telling him this is nothing new. People have been telling Luffy what he can and can't do throughout the whole entire series. Luffy, you can't beat Crocodile. He's a warlord. Luffy, you can't fly a boat into a sky. That's gravity. Luffy, you can't beat up a celestial dragon. So when all these people tell him, Luffy, you can't save Ace, he's like, thanks, where are the stairs? He's reckless with how determined he is. And when he's fighting Magellan, he gets to a point when he realizes he can't beat this dude without getting poison on him, so he decides to sacrifice his arms. And I'm like, Deku, is that you? Because he's like so self-sacrificial. And a big part of Luffy getting into Impel Down and back out again was just sheer willpower and determination. And by the end of the arc, he's running on only adrenaline and willpower. Also, Luffy is still determined, just as determined as he's ever been, to defend his friends. When he's on the brink of death in level 5, he's unconscious, bruh. And Bon Clay starts getting attacked by those ugly dogs. And then Luffy stands up and yells at, no, he stands up and he bites one. He bites a dog. And he uses his hockey to make all of them pass out, even though he's like not even conscious, not even aware of like what he's necessarily doing. This dude's sheer like determination to just protect the people that he cares about transcends his consciousness. It's just like in every fiber of his being, Luffy protects. He's such a great character. Say if like 30%, a huge chunk, 30% of Luffy's getting in and out of Impel Down was through sheer willpower. At least 60% of what's left has to be because of Bon Clay, and like the rest is like due to the hormones and different stuff like that. Bon Clay played a huge role in this arc. So I kind of forgot that the Straw Hats ended on good terms with Bon Clay, despite being on opposing sides initially, because this is all the way back in Alabasta. So it was nice. It was really nice. It was actually like really nice to see someone looking out for Luffy when the crew was away. Bon Clay first rolled up as Zoro, which had me confused for a second, but we're good. And he was the first person that when Luffy told him, I'm going down to level 5 to save my brother, Bon Clay was like, alright, bet, I'm coming with you. I got someone else I want to save too. At that same level of insanity, to roam around Impel Down, not with the desire to get out, but to go further in. He went with Luffy wherever he could. He helped Luffy beat that Moo Cow Minotaurus. When he saw Luffy fighting Magellan, he said, nope, sorry. And like, that moment, I really liked it because like, you have all these anime characters who are like super strong and they're like always trying to prove how strong they are. And Bon Clay in this moment, he's fighting to be strong, but he's like, I cannot beat him. And he runs away. He's apologizing, but he goes to do what he can do. And he goes to stir up mess somewhere else by impersonating Hannibal and making his way down to level 5 so that he can pick Luffy up when Luffy's fight ends poorly like he knew it would. He found a way to be there for Luffy, pick him up on level 5. He walks shirtless through a frozen tundra. Why? because Luffy is his friend. And I'm thinking, is this the power of friendship? Because this is definitely a situation in which it's done correctly. I always hear about the power of friendship and how it's like a cop-out, like, oh, they saved the day because of the power of friendship. Yeah, I think it's done correctly here. And I don't know, I was getting serious Straw Hat vibes from Bon Clay. I don't know. Hey, what are you doing after the war? You want to come join my crew? So anyway, miracles. They meet Eva, the miracle worker, and Eva decides to save Luffy because despite the state that Luffy was in, he was begging for Eva to save Bon Clay, which is similar to Drum Island after Luffy climbs up that wall and begs Dr. Kureha to save Sanji and Nami, even though Luffy was destroyed. Miracles are hard to write. The easy route is to pull a Deus Ex Machina and say that Luffy was able to withstand the poison because he's built different, because he's a rubber man. But that's not how Oda does things. This miracle of bringing Luffy to the brink of death and back again worked for a few different reasons. Number one, it respects Magellan's power as a prison warden, as the prison warden of One Piece. So what kind of warden would Magellan be if he couldn't solo a rookie pirate? His poison is strong enough to incapacitate and kill, and Luffy is no exception. And there are appropriate consequences for Luffy's expedited recovery, which I'll get into later. Number two, there was a price to be paid in both the short term and the long term. The long term is that 10 years are taken off of Luffy's life. The short term is that Luffy spends 10 hours healing from this, which is 10 hours in which he could have been saving Ace, but 10 hours are gone. And number three, the third reason why this miracle worked is that the miracle and the fact that there was more to it than just saving Luffy was acknowledged. Eva was introduced as a miracle worker, and Bon Clay was pleading for Eva to fix Luffy, and Eva was like, what do you think I'm doing? I am fixing him. You can call me a miracle worker or whatever the heck you want, but in the end, the people I help have to want it. He said miracles only happen for those with the determination to never stop trying, and that is such an anime thing to say, and this show is so real for that, and I love it. When Bon heard that Luffy was fighting for his life in that room alone, chained up, he goes to motivate Luffy despite being in pain himself. And the one thing that would have just like sent me would be is if Bon Clay started using the voices of the other Straw Hats to call out to Luffy and cheer him on. Like I don't know if it would have been worse than Mary, but like the tears would be there. I watched this part in sub actually a little bit too. He's just shouting like Gambare and like whatever the heck, and I was just like, oh my gosh, he's wrecking himself. Like, cause he cares so much, and I'm just like, he's like bleeding from the mouth and everything, just like his throat is just jacked up. Cause like at this point, like words are like the only thing that Luffy is holding on to in order to like, it could go either way. Oh, he almost died. I always say that words have meaning in this story, and Bon Clay is just shouting words of encouragement to Luffy, and that just like, because like in the end, like words, like mere words mattered, and mere words are what Luffy was able to hold on to in order to recover. And then when he finally does recover and you see all that blood come out from the door, it was like, oh, first thing he wants is food, obviously, and then he goes and he eats so much that he can barely fit through the door. It was probably best that Bon Clay didn't use the other Straw Hats voices, even though that's what I would have wanted, to give Luffy false hope and whatnot in a dire circumstance, and that's beside the point. Allies of common interest. So Luffy's gathered up this little pseudo team to go and escape from the prison, because they're all down there at level 6, kind of like planning what's next. Ace is gone, and the Crocodile's like, let me out, I can help you. And so like they let him out because apparently Eva has some dirt on him that's enough to like keep him on a leash. And like I think Luffy's like, I beat him once, I can beat him again. And then Jinbei, it's either Jinbei or Jinbei, I'm not sure, but it sounds close enough that you can't tell what I'm saying. So Jinbei was like, I beg of you, let me out, I'll help you. And Jinbei seems like a pretty good dude, so I like him already. But he was Ace's cellmate. And you already know this, why am I telling you this? Luffy's gathered this team that consists of Jinbei, Crocodile, Eva, and Inazuma, who has a pretty cool snip power, which I think is pretty dope. Jinbei's goal is to just stop the war. Luffy wants to save his brother, Crocodile wants to kill Whitebeard, and Eva is kind of just like, it's time, and decides to leave. Crocodile's goal directly conflicts with Jinbei's goal, but in that moment all of them have the common goal to get out of Impel Down, so they're all able to work together civilly. What? So Hannibal's last stand, Hanny's last stand. They're trying to head up to level 3 and Hannibal pulls a Gandalf, you shall not pass. Luffy absolutely wrecks him, but Hannibal perseveres, and I really liked Hannibal. I thought he was funny. I like the running joke that he's coming from Magellan's job, and the decisions that he make in his entire character reflect that he wants to be the warden. So he's like, okay, what, like, will I be held responsible for this, or will this be Magellan's responsibility? And if it's Magellan's fault, then Hannibal doesn't really care what happens. And so I like that in the end, he and Magellan's character dynamic shifts from blatant animosity to mutual respect, where Hannibal respects Magellan's authority and Magellan acknowledges Hannibal as a worthy successor because he fought so hard and got beaten anyway. But at this point in the story, Hannibal is kind of acting like an anime protagonist with how much he keeps getting back up. He remains standing because of his convictions, putting Luffy and all other pirates in a different light as criminals, because he's a prison warden. He sees all of the prisoners as criminals, unlike us. In Hannibal's mind, he's protecting citizens by standing up, and he's maintaining world order. And we know that Luffy is not out to terrorize random civilians. Luffy just wants freedom and the One Piece. And besides, the government is probably more corrupt than anything, but Hannibal doesn't know that. So I respect his motives and his ignorance. At some point around there, they also, this doesn't really fit into any specific category. At some point around here, they let former prison warden Shiriyuu out because they figure that he can help them clean up the mess that is going on in the prison right now. Shiriyuu was Shiriyuu was locked up initially because he just didn't give a crap. He was just killing prisoners because he wanted to, and they're like, you can't do that. And so they locked him up, and now they're letting him back out. They're like, hey, help us, prison warden. And he's like, I think I kind of just want to go like kill some people. And so as soon as they open the door, immediate consequences, he starts killing people. So now this dude is loose in the prison. That's a thing that's happening. Blackbeard shows up, surprise, surprise, just wants to go where the drama is, apparently. He then proceeds to unleash a series of plot twists that aren't exactly plot twists, they're just stuff that I forgot about. Like the fact that he was at Jaya, he was that random dude at the bar, talking about dreams and whatnot, and then he tells Luffy a whole bunch of stuff that Luffy does not need to be hearing right now, pretty much saying that Luffy could have been the one in Ace's place if Ace hadn't saved him before, just riling him up at this point. And then Jinbei's like, hey, Luffy's upset, Luffy's pissed off, Luffy's about to just spend all of his time fighting Blackbeard. And Jinbei's like, hey Luffy, let's take this energy and let's go save your brother. After that, Blackbeard's gonna try talking about Skypiea with Luffy like they're friends and he didn't just set up his brother for death. Like, how dare you, sir? How dare you? Luffy's desire to save everyone and the escape and Bond Clay Part 2, I suppose. Throughout this whole entire thing, it does not take much for Luffy to get sidetracked. If they leave anyone behind, Luffy wants to turn around and save them despite the ticking time clock of Ace's execution. It's kind of like meat dangling in his face if like you're on the way to a restaurant and they're like, here's some food right here, and he's like, all right, let's eat, and then they're like, no, Luffy, go somewhere else. The whole entire escape was awesome, the way it was set up, the way that there were no ships out there when they initially left and everything like that. That was all fantastic. They're getting chased out of the prison by Magellan's red venom demon, and at this point I just feel sorry for the toilet that man is surely going to destroy when he's through with all of this. Bond and Jinbei had to trick Luffy into leaving Bond behind so that he could open the gates of justice. Bond, of course, impersonating Magellan so he can give the order, thus solidifying his position as MVP of this arc. I know he's not dead. I know that Bon Clay is not dead, but he's the only prisoner left in that prison. I'm pretty sure they freed everybody else, and so like, I don't know how he's gonna survive. I don't know what they're gonna do, but he's not dead. That's too vague. Luffy's not happy that they left Bond behind. He lost his crew and now he's leaving a good friend of his to an uncertain demise. He points out that this is just like the last time that Bond sacrificed himself to save Luffy and his crew, and I'm glad that Luffy pointed that out because I would have forgotten. That seeing how torn up Luffy was about that, and like how we just had to suck it up and just say thank you for once. I mean, he says thank you, but like as far as like other people saving him, I don't think he likes that too much. I think he'd rather be the saver. Crying over Bon Clay was not on my One Piece bingo card. The aftermath. We end this arc with the ship heading towards Navy headquarters at Marineford. Poor Buggy and Mr. 3 were so clued out they didn't even know that they were heading straight for war. After that, they thought they were going to get dropped off at home. They thought they were going to go get food or something. Buggy also appears to be Forrest Gumping his way to success as a pirate. The Navy has identified him as one of the ringleaders to the prison breakout, and all of the freed prisoners are loyal to him now. They call him Captain Buggy, and he's just soaking it all in, so we love to see that. Everyone on the ship has different goals now, but they all still have the one common goal of getting to Marineford, so they're not fighting amongst themselves. Impel Down has been made a mockery of, and Luffy holds up his reputation of being a catastrophic force of nature to every government building that he steps in. And there are 4 hours until Ace is executed. 4 hours. So who all is going to be there? There are 7 warlords. You have Jinbei, Kuma, Boa Hancock, Mihawks, Moria, Doflamingo, and Blackbeard. For the Marines, there's Admiral Sengoku, Garp, Aokiji, Kizaru, and there is a dude with like a baseball hat on and a flower shirt. Hasn't said a single word. I don't think we met him before, but he was in the meeting with Sengoku and Garp when Garp was laughing about his kids destroying the entire world and he was eating chips. And for the pirates, there's Whitebeard, Eva, Luffy, and they mentioned that Shanks was doing something, but I don't know if they said, I forgot if they said that Shanks was heading over there or that Shanks was causing mess somewhere else. So on Team Luffy, I think that we'll, because Luffy, like, despite all these people, there are several people who are going to be on Luffy's side. So on Team Luffy, I think we'll obviously have Jinbei and Eva, Boa Hancock, Whitebeard, because they're both trying to save Ace. I don't know anything about Whitebeard, but I know that they have the common goal. They have no reason to fight. Why would Luffy fight Whitebeard? Anyway, maybe on Luffy's side is Kuma, because I think Kuma's a good dude. I think Kuma sent people places on purpose, and I think Kuma is on the Straw Hat side. Mihawks, because he likes Zoro, or he's not friends with Zoro, but they fought once, and he respects Zoro as a upcoming swordsman, and Zoro's on Luffy's crew, so maybe Mihawks. I know that's a stretch. And Garp, if Garp cares about his grandsons more than he cares about his job. And it doesn't seem like he takes his job that seriously. And also Shanks if Shanks shows up. So the Opps are going to be, for sure, Sengoku, Kizaru, Moria, Aokiji, Crocodile if Luffy crosses his path. If Luffy gets in Crocodile's way of trying to kill Whitebeard, then Crocodile is going to try and get Luffy immediately. So Blackbeard is at Impel Down, so I don't think he's gonna be there because he's doing random mess in Impel Down, teaming up with Shiriyuu and all that stuff. Doflamingo, I don't know who that is. Random marine guy who has been with the big shots but hasn't said anything. I don't know what he's gonna do. He's probably not good. But yeah, let's go into my prediction. Let me put on my prediction hat. I knew they weren't going to rescue Ace from Impel Down. I knew it. I called it. I said it. You can quote me on it. I'm going to pull up a video clip right here, and it's going to say they're not going to rescue Ace from Impel Down. They're not going to rescue Ace from Impel Down. That's what the video clip is going to say. I've been saying that you don't mention the gallows and not have someone on the gallows. Ace is heading to the gallows right now. He's going to get chained up. They're going to be standing next to him with their little swords crossed like they do. You don't toss around Whitebeard in a war without actually starting the war. How boring would that be if they're like, oh my gosh, remember that war that almost happened, but you saved the day, Luffy, so it didn't happen? No, there's going to be a war. I know this. I think that Luffy will have enough people that are for him in order to put up a good fight and save his brother, but it won't. Of course it won't be until the very last minute. With all the stuff that Luffy has gone through and is going through right now, just running on adrenaline and just like still very, very, very much wounded, trying to get through all of this. If Ace got executed at the end of all this, that would be complete ass. So I think he's going, I am an optimist. I think Luffy's gonna save him. It's gonna be real close. It's gonna be like 3-2-1 close. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's going to happen. And it scares me. I don't know what else to say at this point. I don't know what else to say. But thank you so much for watching. Oh, the hat's from Steady Hands, by the way. It's cute, isn't it? Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. I hope Ace doesn't die. I'll catch you guys next time. I'm Meanie Mosey. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. But I'll see you at Marineford. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.